Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for September 4th of 2025 is titled NGC 4565, Galaxy on Edge. So what do we see here? Well, here we see an image of a spiral galaxy, and it may not look like some of the grand spirals that we've looked at in the past, where you can see the flowing spiral arms going out from the center of the galaxy. Now that's because of the orientation of this galaxy relative to Earth. We are seeing it edge on, and galaxies like this spiral galaxy are flattened disks, and that would be much like our own Milky Way as well. They are flattened into a disk, so if we see them edge on, they can look very narrow and thin like this one, which is also sometimes known as the needle galaxy for its very thin appearance. Now we can see some of the distinct features of a spiral galaxy, and that includes the dust lane going through the center, much as we see in our own Milky Way as we look at that across the sky. You can also see, if you look towards the outer edges of the spiral arms, you can see that there's a distinct bluish tinge there. That is the blue color of the disk of the galaxy and of the spiral arms. And even though we cannot see the spiral arms directly, we can see that bluish color of those hot stars that make them up. So if we could travel the 40 million light years to NGC 4565 and look at it from above, we would see a spiral galaxy much like many of the grand spirals that we look at. But you do notice this, and you may look at this and compare it to what we see for our own Milky Way, and this looks a lot like our Milky Way stretched across the sky, except on a much smaller scale. But if we look at our Milky Way as we look at it as it stretches across the sky, we see the same features. We see that it is condensed into a disk. We can definitely see dust lanes within it, just as we see here. And we can see the bright star clouds and those dark dust clouds of the Milky Way. So it's like looking at our Milky Way in miniature, and in miniature only because it is so far away. Again, 40 million light years or so. Overall, this galaxy is just about the same size as our own Milky Way, about 100,000 light years across. So in many ways it is comparable to our own Milky Way, just seeing it at a great distance and at this specific orientation. Now, this is not the only galaxy in the image, and in fact, if you look around, you'll see several other galaxies as well. In fact, a prominent one up above and to the right of this galaxy. And we can also see a number of stars. Now, the stars are all stars within our own Milky Way. A galaxy like this is too far away to really see the individual stars. So we don't see those, but we can see their combined light. So all of the stars that we're seeing are within our own Milky Way, and one way to tell, at least for the brighter objects, is that the stars will have that cross pattern, that diffraction pattern going through them because of the telescope optics. And that kind of distinguishes a star from a galaxy when we're looking at an image like this. Now, when it gets to a smaller object, it can be a little harder to tell. But for the larger, brighter objects, you can very distinctly see some that are flattened shapes and others that just do not have that cross pattern going through them. So not just one galaxy, but actually a whole bunch of galaxies here, as well as a number of stars within our own Milky Way. So that was our picture of the day for September 4th of 2025. It was titled NGC 4565, Galaxy on Edge. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.